Hey, how's it? Hawaiian here? Hey, listen, every now and again, people ask me, hey, Hawaiian, how come you and your buddy Kiga, Waialae, always say that elections in an occupied country is illegal? Well, I put a little something together. You guys can sit back, watch, enjoy, maybe learn something. But there are some groups out there that, from what we understand, are trying to create another party to go head to head with the occupier, the enemy of the Hawaiian kingdom, thinking that by running in an American election that they'll be doing some good. Well, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing, but I still stand my case. Elections in an occupied country is illegal. Olike, ahuiho.
Since 1893, there has been no lawful government in Hawaii, right? Any American government in Hawaii cannot be lawful unless it's here under the laws of occupation to administer the laws of the occupied state. There has been no Hawaiian government here since 1893 when Queen Liliuokalani conditionally surrendered. So we basically have a state without a government, right? A state still exists, but no government. Now, since there's no government, you can't have elections. So if you can't have elections, how do we bring back a Hawaiian government? See, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you know elections are not about private people registering each other to vote? No, it's from the executive branch of an already established government that registers voters. Then who sets up the voting polls? The executive branch. Who calls the legislature into session? The executive branch. So you need the executive branch to have elections. But during occupations, how do you have that? Right? You can understand what comes first, the chicken or the egg. You got some sovereignty groups that are claiming we had an election. Wait. No, you couldn't have an election. No, we did it because, start off with step one. Who registered vote? Oh, my cousin. You answered my question right there. That's not a government. So whatever came out of that was just like how people vote for officers in private clubs. Nothing wrong with that. Anybody can vote, good. Somebody wants to be the Grand Poobah of the Water Buffalo Lodge, not a problem. But that's not a government. But how do you bring back a government without having an election, but you can't have an election during occupation? Well, how did other countries do it? Like World War II. Let me use Belgium as an example. Belgium was invaded by Germany. King Leopold was the constitutional monarch. He was captured by the Germans at the start of World War II. Belgians fled, went to London. They formed a provisional government, acting government, called a government in exile. They weren't elected. There is a justification called necessity. Did you know we used to do it in the army? A private can become a lieutenant in time of war, but he is only the acting lieutenant. Until a properly commissioned officer comes, he gets relieved, he goes back down being a private. Until then, he carries vicarious liability as if he's the lieutenant. And back in the army, nobody wanted to assume the chain of command because vicarious liability is liability. And nobody really wants to take that position, but you have to assume the chain of command because you have to maintain the command structure. Same thing. Now, the Belgians could have done it in Belgium, not in London, in exile, but if they went into Belgium to create an acting government representing the Belgian state to ensure that the Germans comply with the law of occupation, they might get shot by the Germans. That's why they're all made in exile. What we're going to do is we're going to create a provisional government here in Hawaii because nobody's going to shoot us because nobody even knows what's going on. I'm going to operate from the premise everybody's sleeping. I'm protected now. But whatever I do with the people I do it, I could be incriminating myself by doing it a particular way because that information could be treason that I'm committing against the Hawaiian Kingdom. This is not intent. This is called procedures and making sure you meet, dot the I, cross the T.
Elections in an occupied country is illegal. Olike, Ahui ho.